Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue sur Est-ce, Irwin's French class. In this video, we are covering all the basics for asking questions in French. We will particularly focus on closed questions, also called yes or no questions. And we will learn 3 super useful ways to ask questions. As usual, after covering the different forms these questions can take in French, we will review some uses in context for everyday conversations, and at the end of the video, we will do some fun activities to revise and practice. C'est parti! The easiest way to ask a closed question is by raising your intonation. By doing so, you can turn any statement into a question. For instance, with the statement « Tu es étudiante ». That can become a question. Tu es étudiante? So you can raise your intonation on the very last syllable or gradually. It doesn't really matter. Tu es étudiante? Tu es étudiante? This is surely the most powerful way of asking a yes or no question, as you can even do that with just a single word. So this is super useful for beginners or if you find yourself in a French-speaking country with limited French. For example, in a restaurant, you can ask for the menu. Menu or le menu, of course if you know the definite article with it. If you are looking for the metro, for example, métro or le métro. So even without asking properly the question, where is the metro? Où est le métro? People will understand you and hopefully help you out. The second way is to place est-ce que at the start of the question before the subject and the verb. For example, and you can repeat this after me, est-ce que vous êtes français? Est-ce que tu parles japonais? Est-ce que nous allons au cinéma ce soir? That interrogative expression is quite specific to French and may sound a bit strange for English speakers especially. So don't try to translate it, it wouldn't make much sense. Est-ce que tu es français? Is it that you're French? So just remember that this expression is very commonly used in everyday French conversation and is colloquial, so mostly used in spoken French. By using est-ce que, the intonation is not relevant anymore, as est-ce que is used only in questions. So therefore you can ask an est-ce que question with a flat intonation if you wish. Est-ce que tu fais du sport? But you can also raise your intonation just like we did before. Est-ce que tu fais du sport? And please also note that est-ce que becomes est-ce with the apostrophe before a vowel. Est-ce qu'il est sympa? Est-ce qu'elles ont un projet intéressant? Est-ce qu'Eric fait du français? The third way is a bit more complex. So imagine if you are presuming that someone will probably answer yes. You can either use n'est-ce pas or non at the end of a question with rising intonation. So n'est-ce pas is the equivalent to the English tag question. For example, il fait beau, n'est-ce pas? The weather is nice, isn't it? Ils vont à la plage, n'est-ce pas? They are going to the beach, aren't they? Elle fait du foot, n'est-ce pas? She plays football, doesn't she? And non has exactly the same function, but is rather more informal. And it's the equivalent of right in English. Il fait froid, non? It's cold, right? Il a 20 ans aujourd'hui, non? He's turning 20 today, right? To answer a yes or no question, you can obviously just use oui ou non, or give a more elaborate answer. For example, est-ce que tu fais du sport? Oui, je fais du sport. Non, je ne fais pas de sport. And please check out my video on negation in French if you need to brush up a little bit on that. Another example, il ne travaille pas le vendredi? Non, il ne travaille pas le vendredi. Informally, you can just reply with sounds pretty much. So positively, you can go like, il fait chaud, non? Uh-huh. Or negatively, il fait chaud, non? Uh-uh. Alright guys, let's do an activity to practice the closed questions in French. I am going to give you some statements simply transform them into questions using first the rising intonation and secondly, est-ce que? Tu fais la cuisine. So rising intonation. Tu fais la cuisine? That's good. Est-ce que tu fais la cuisine? Elle va à l'université aujourd'hui. Rising intonation. Elle va à l'université aujourd'hui? Est-ce qu'elle va à l'université aujourd'hui? Yeah, don't forget the est-ce que here. You need to drop the E and add the apostrophe. It's once again called the elision. Vous parlez français. Rising intonation. Vous parlez français? Est-ce que vous parlez français? That's good. Il a un chien. Il a un chien? Est-ce qu'il a un chien? Elles sont très motivées par ce cours. Elles sont très motivées par ce cours? Est-ce qu'elles sont très motivées par ce cours? That's good. Je fais les courses. So rising intonation. Je fais les courses. Est-ce que je fais les courses? Voilà les amis, c'est tout pour cette vidéo. I hope that you are now more confident to ask questions in French. For practice, don't hesitate to write me a yes or no question in the comments. Est-ce que vous vous êtes abonné à la chaîne? Did you subscribe to the channel? Est-ce que vous avez mis un pouce bleu? Did you give a thumbs up? So I hope that you answered positively oui to these questions. À la prochaine, à plus, au revoir, ciao.